Hello students, Jinali Shah welcomes you all on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Today we will begin with the new chapter Locomotion and Movement. In the present chapter we will be studying only regarding the skeletal system. In your book the points regarding the muscles have been deleted for this year, so that part we won't be dealing for now. We only will be dealing with the skeletal system part of the chapter. So first of all, locomotion and movement. So basically both of them in simple term means the change in the location, change in the position of an object, right? Now those movements which involve the muscles, that movements are called as locomotion. Suppose we move from one place to another, that movement is due to the muscles. So those movement which involves the muscles are called as the locomotion. So let us deal with the main part of the chapter, that is the skeletal system. Now the skeletal system, it consists of the frameworks and of bones and few cartilages. So what is skeletal system made up of? It is made up of bone and few cartilages. Now this skeletal system has a significant role in the movement shown by the body. So the most important function of the skeletal system is it is responsible for the movement. The muscles, or you can say the bones, are attached with the muscles and they bring about the various kinds of the movement. So the movement of the body basically is due to the skeletal system, right? Association of the bones as well as the muscles. Apart from that, our body's shape, then the framework of the body, the support to the body, then protection to the internal organs, like very important delicate organ like spinal cord, brain, heart. These all structures are protected by what? They are protected by the bones, right? So they protect the delicate internal organs of the body. Apart from that, these bones are also the hematopoietic organs. They are the organs which are responsible for the formation of the blood cells. We know that in the hollow cavities of the bone there is a marrow. So red bone marrow is a tissue which is responsible for the formation of the blood cells. And it is also the important reservoir of calcium and phosphorus, and apart from that the yellow marrow is a storehouse of fat. So these are the various functions of the skeletal system. But main important function is it brings about the various types of the movement. Imagine chewing without the jaw bones or walking around without the limb bones. Is it possible? No. So bones and cartilages are specialized connective tissues. We have studied connective tissue, and in that category we have studied regarding the specialized connective tissue. So two most important specialized connective tissues are bones and cartilages. The former, that is the bone, has a very hard matrix due to the calcium salts in it. Now connective tissue has a matrix. Matrix is the intercellular substance. So the matrix of the bone is very hard due to the presence of calcium salts in it. Whereas the matrix of the cartilage, it is slightly pliable. Pliable means it can be bendable. Okay, it is bent. We can easily bend it. So the matrix of the cartilage is pliable due to the chondroitin salts. Which salts are present? It have the chondroitin salts. In human beings, this system is made up of 206 bones and few cartilages. So our skeletal system consists of 206 bones and there are few cartilages. Now skeletal system can be broadly divided into two divisions. One is the axial skeleton and another one is the appendicular skeleton. The skeleton which is located in the mid-longitudinal axis of our body, it is called as the axial skeleton, and this axial skeleton consists of the 80 bones. And the skeleton which is located in the transverse axis of the body, or you can say on the lateral sides of the body, that skeleton is called as the appendicular skeleton. There are basically 80 bones in the axial skeleton and 126 bone in the appendicular skeleton. Now the names of the bones and the numbers of the bones in each and every region, that is very important for boards as well as for your NEET. So let us first begin with the axial skeleton. The axial skeleton comprises of 80 bones. How many bones are there? 80 bones. The axial skeleton, it forms the main axis of the body. The skull, vertebral column, sternum and ribs constitute the axial skeleton. So which are the parts of the axial skeleton? The skull, the vertebral column, the sternum and the ribs. So first of all, the skull. The skull is composed of two sets of bone. So now skull, it consists of further two sets of bone, cranial bones which are 8 in number and facial bones which are 14 in number, and this brings to total 22 bones. So there are cranial bones 8 in number, facial bones 14 in number, which brings the total to 22 bones. The cranial bones are 8 in number. They form the hard protective outer covering cranium for the brain and hence is often called as the brain box. So cranial bones are how many? 8. What is their function? They form the protective harder outer covering of the brain, which is called as the cranium. So cranial bones, they form the cranium surrounding the brain. So they protect the brain and hence it is also called as the brain box. These bones are joined by sutures which are immovable. अभी bones को जो join करता है, that region is called joints. So the joints of the cranial bones are called as the sutures, and these sutures are which kind of joints? They are immovable kind of the joints. Now which bones are included in the cranial bones? They are paired parietal bones, paired temporal, that is 2 parietals, 2 temporals, and individual single bones such as frontal, sphenoid, occipital and ethmoid. So there are 2 parietals, 2 temporals and single frontal, sphenoid, occipital and ethmoid. The facial region is made up of 14 skeletal elements which form the front part of the skull. So front part of the skull is formed by the 14 bones called as the facial bones. Which bones are included in facial bones? So the maxilla bone, zygomatic bone, palatine bone, lacrimal bone, nasal bones and inferior nasal conchae. These are the paired which bones? Facial bones. And the mandible or lower jaw and vomer bones are the unpaired bones. So total कितने bones हो गए? 14 bones in the facial region. 2 maxilla, 2 zygomatic, 2 palatines, 2 lacrimals, 2 nasal bones and 2 inferior nasal conchae. So इसका total 12 हो गया. There is 1 mandible or lower jaw, that is 13, and 1 vomer, that is 14. So total 14 bones in the facial part. Now not only the facial and cranial bones, but there are other bones too. So basically there is a single U-shaped hyoid bone which is present at the base of the buccal cavity, and it is also included in the skull region, and it is the only bone without any of the joint. So at the base of the buccal cavity is a single U-shaped bone called as the hyoid bone, and this is the only bone which is without any joint. Each middle ear contains 3 tiny bones, malleus, incus and stapes, collectively called as the ear ossicles. So ear, each middle part of the middle ear consists of total 3 bones. So these 3 bones are very small in size and together are called as ear ossicles. And what are the name of the ear ossicles? Incus, malleus and stapes. The upper jaw is formed of maxilla, lower jaw is formed of mandible. So that is regarding the skull bone. Now दूसरा हम देखेंगे ये कि at the base of the skull is an opening called as the foramen magnum. So foramen magnum is a very large opening found at the posterior base of the skull. Through this opening, the medulla oblongata of the brain descends down as spinal cord. Now we know that the end part of the brain is medulla oblongata. Now this medulla oblongata will continue as the spinal cord in the trunk region. So जहाँ से medulla oblongata continue होता है spinal cord में, सो स्कल के बेजल पोर्शन में एक ओपनिंग है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज फोरामेन मैग्नम, एंड थ्रू दिस फोरामेन मैग्नम द मेडुला ऑब्लोंगेटा कंटिन्यूज एज द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड. Now the skull region articulates with the superior region of the vertebral column. So the upper part of the vertebral column, it communicates or it articulates with the skull. So कैसे वो join होता है? So with the help of two occipital condyles. Condyles are the protuberances. And how many occipital condyles are there? Two. So it is called as dicondylic skull. Occipital condyles are the two protuberances on the either side of the foramen magnum. So see students, this is the structure of the skull. So this is the frontal bone, these are the two parietal bones, there are two temporals, one occipital, and this is the occipital condyle. This is a sphenoid bone, ethmoid bone, lacrimal bone, nasal bone, zygomatic bone, maxilla, mandible, and the single U-shaped bone which is present at the base of the buccal cavity, which is called as the hyoid bone. Clear? So that is regarding the skull region. See, these are the 8 cranial bones and these are the 14 facial bones. So which are the 8 cranial bones? 2 parietals, 2 temporals, 1 occipital, 1 frontal, then there is a sphenoid bone, then this is the ethmoid bone. So these are the basically bones of the cranium. Now these are the facial bones. The 2 nasal bones, the 2 lacrimals, the 2 inferior nasal conchae, the maxilla, the mandibles, the 2 palatines, 2 zygomatics, and 1 vomer bone. So these are the facial bones. So that is regarding the skull region. Now another part included in the axial skeleton is the vertebral column. This vertebral column is also called as the backbone. Our vertebral column is formed by 26 serially arranged units called vertebra and is dorsally placed. So vertebral column is formed of 26 ring-like bones called as the vertebra, and this vertebra is located on the dorsal side of the body in the trunk region. It extends from base of the skull and constitutes the main framework of the trunk. So trunk body का main जो support का part है, framework का part है, shape का काम है, वो कौन करता है? It is the vertebral column. Each vertebra has a central hollow portion called as a neurocanal through which the spinal cord passes. Now imagine the structure of the vertebra as a structure of the ring. So जैसे रिंग में हॉलो बेसिकली कैविटी होती है, ये रिंग है सपोज, ओके. सो जैसे ये रिंग की कैविटी है वैसे वर्टिब्रा की भी कैविटी है. सो ये जो हॉलो पोर्शन है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द न्यूरो कनाल. नाउ मेनी वर्टिब्रा 26 वर्टिब्रा लाई वन अबाउ द अदर, तो एक पूरी न्यूरल कैनाल बनेगी और ये कैनाल से क्या पास होगा? स्पाइनल कॉर्ड पास होगा. The first vertebra is called atlas and it articulates with the occipital condyle. So first vertebra को क्या बोलते हैं? atlas vertebra. और वो किसके साथ articulate करेगा? So it articulates or it joins with the occipital condyles. The vertebral column has 5 major regions. See students, these are the vertebra. These are the हम देखेंगे सर्वाइकल वर्टिब्रा होता है, थोराकिक वर्टिब्रा होता है, लंबर वर्टिब्रा होता है, सेक्रल वर्टिब्रा होता है एंड कॉकिक्स. एंड 2 वर्टिब्रा को जो कनेक्ट करता है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द इंटरवर्टिब्रल डिस्क. द वर्टिब्रल कॉलम इज डिफरेंशिएटेड इनटू सर्वाइकल 7, थोरैकिक 12, लंबर 5, सेक्रल देर इज ओनली 1 वर्टिब्रा, वो फ्यूज होगा. बट इन इन्फेंटाइल देर आर 5 सेक्रल वर्टिब्रा एंड दे फ्यूज एंड फॉर्म 1 बोन इन एडल्ट. सेम वे कॉकिजियल वर्टिब्रा भी कितना है? 1 फ्यूज्ड है. बट बेसिकली इन इन्फेंटाइल इट इज 4 एंड विच आर फ्यूज टू फॉर्म 1 बोन इन एडल्ट. सो दैट आर टोटल 26 वर्टिब्रा, 7 सर्वाइकल वर्टिब्रा, then there are 12 thoracic vertebra, 5 lumbar vertebra, 1 sacral vertebra and 1 coccygeal vertebra. The first vertebra, as I told you, is called atlas and second vertebra is called as axis. The number of cervical vertebra are 7 in almost all mammals including human beings. The vertebral column protects the spinal cord, it supports the head region and serves as the point of attachment for the ribs and musculature of the back. So what is the function of vertebral column? वो spinal cord को protect करता है, ऊपर वो head को support करता है and ribs and the back muscles are attached to the vertebral column. Then there is the sternum or the chest bone. The sternum is a flat bone in the ventral midline of the thorax. So on the ventral side of the thorax, in the chest cavity, in the middle portion is the presence of single rod-shaped flat bone, which is called as the sternum. It is also called as the chest bone, or also it is called as the breastbone. So this is the cervical vertebra 7 in number, thoracic vertebra 12 in number, lumbar vertebra 5 in number. ये ग्रे जो पोर्शन है वो इंटरवर्टिब्रल डिस्क है जो वर्टिब्रा को कनेक्ट करती है. देन सेक्रल वर्टिब्रा, दिस इज सिंगल सेक्रल वर्टिब्रा एंड इट इज बेसिकली फ्यूजन ऑफ 5 वर्टिब्रा. एंड कॉकिक्स इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज अ टेल बोन विच इज अ फ्यूजन ऑफ 4 vertebra. And this is a sternum which is located on the ventral side of the body in the midline of the thorax. So that is regarding the vertebral column and the sternum. Now the next part of the axial skeleton is ribs. So there are total 12 pairs of the rib. Each rib is a thin flat bone connected dorsally to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum. So dorsally the ribs are connected to the vertebral column. Which vertebra? Thoracic vertebra. How many thoracic vertebra? 12. And how many ribs pair? 12 pairs. So first thoracic vertebra will articulate, or you can say first pair of rib will articulate with first thoracic vertebra, second to the second thoracic vertebra, third to the third thoracic vertebra, and so on. Now each rib, basically the ribs are connected on the dorsal side as well as on the ventral side. Dorsally they are connected to the vertebral column and ventrally they are connected to the sternum. It has two articulation surfaces on its dorsal side. Now dorsal side pe ribs have 2 points of attachment and hence it is called as bicephalic. As on the dorsal side the ribs have 2 articulation surfaces, the ribs are called as the bicephalic. Now the first 7 pairs of ribs are called true ribs or vertebrosternal ribs. First 7 pairs, that is ribs from 1 to 7, are called as the true ribs or vertebrosternal ribs because they are attached dorsally to the vertebral column and ventrally to the sternum, and hence they are called as the true ribs or vertebrosternal ribs. Dorsally they are attached to the thoracic vertebrae and ventrally connected to the sternum with the help of the hyaline cartilage. So dorsally they are connected to the thoracic vertebra and ventrally to the sternum, and this connection is provided by the hyaline cartilage. The 8th, 9th and 10th pairs of rib do not articulate directly with the sternum but are joined with the cartilaginous, that is hyaline cartilage part of the 7th rib. Now 8th, 9th and 10th pair of rib जो है वो dorsally तो vertebral column से connected है ही है, बट वेंट्रली वो स्टर्नम से डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड नहीं है. इंस्टेड ऑफ बीइंग डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड टू द स्टर्नम, जो 7th पेयर का हाइलिन कार्टिलेज है वो उसके साथ कनेक्टेड है. एंड सच रिब्स आर कॉल्ड एज फॉल्स रिब और वर्टिब्रोकॉन्ड्रल रिब्स. वर्टिब्रो इसीलिए क्योंकि वो वर्टिब्रल कॉलम से कनेक्टेड है, एंड कॉन्ड्रल इसीलिए क्योंकि वो 7th पेयर के हाइलिन कार्टिलेज के साथ कनेक्टेड है. The last 11th and 12th pairs of ribs are not connected ventrally. Now जो last 2 pairs है 11th and 12th वो dorsally vertebral column से connected है, but ventrally उनके पास कोई भी connection नहीं है. They do not have any attachment on the dorsal side. On the ventral side. Hence they are called as the floating ribs or only the vertebral ribs. Floating ribs इसीलिए क्योंकि there is no connection on the वेंट्रल साइड. एंड वर्टिब्रल रिब्स क्यों? क्योंकि सिर्फ वो वर्टिब्रल कॉलम के साथ कनेक्टेड है. thoracic vertebra, the ribs and sternum together form the rib cage. So ये डायग्राम में देखो, this part is the sternum and ये पीछे का जो पार्ट है वो vertebral column है. So देखो first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh they are attached to what? Sternum. अभी ये 8th, 9th and 10th पेयर है वो 7th पेयर के हाइलिन कार्टिलेज के साथ अटैच्ड है. एंड ये जो 11th एंड 12th पेयर है उसका डॉर्सल साइड पे कोई भी कनेक्शन नहीं है, वेंट्रल साइड पे वो वर्टिब्रा से कनेक्टेड है. सो दैट इज रिगार्डिंग द ribs, that is the last part of the axial skeleton. Now let us begin with the appendicular skeleton. So the bones of the upper and lower limbs along with their girdles constitute the appendicular skeleton. So basically the skeleton which is located on the transverse axis of the body is called as the appendicular skeleton, and this appendicular skeleton is made up of the bones of upper and lower limbs and their girdles. Total there are 126 bones in the appendicular skeleton. Now first of all let us consider the limb bones. So each limb, whether it is the forelimb or hind limb, both the limbs are made up of total 30 bones. So first of all let us see which bones are included in the forelimb. So the bones of the hand, that is forelimbs, are humerus, which is in the upper arm, radius and ulna in the lower arm. Carpals are the wrist bones which are 8 in number. Metacarpals are palm bones which are 5 in number. Phalanges are 14 bones in the fingers. Now this brings up to total of 30 bones. Now how many forelimbs are there? Total 2. 30 into 2, it constitutes how much? It constitutes the 60 bones. Similarly the hind limb. So femur, which is the thigh bone, is the longest bone of the body. Tibia and fibula in the shank region. Tarsals are the ankle bone which are 7 in number. Metatarsals are 5 in number, and phalanges are 14 in number which are in the toes. And this brings up to the total end. There is a single cup-shaped bone called as patella which ventrally covers the knee, and it is also called as the kneecap or knee bone. So इसका भी total करोगे तो 30 मिलेगा. ऐसे 2 limbs है, so total it comes up to 60 bones. Okay. So these are the bones of the forelimb. Their number and forelimbs and hind limbs. Their numbers and names and regions are very, very, very important. Now girdles. Pectoral and pelvic girdle help in the articulation of the upper and lower limbs respectively with the axial skeleton. So the upper limb is basically joined with the pectoral girdle, and which helps in the articulation of the axial skeleton with the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton is connected with the axial skeleton with the help of the girdles. Now both the girdles are formed of 2 halves, that is on the right side as well as the left side. So first of all the pectoral girdle. Each half of the pectoral girdle consists of clavicle or collarbone and a scapula. So there are 2 bones in the pectoral girdle. One is the clavicle or collarbone and another one is the scapula, which is also called as the shoulder blade. The scapula is a large, thin, triangular bone situated in the dorsal surface of the rib cage between the 2nd and 7th ribs. So scapula is which type of bone? It is a dorsally placed bone which is triangular in shape. It is thin and a flat bone which is located on the dorsal side between 2nd and 7th pair of the ribs. It has a slightly elevated ridge. So there is a slightly elevated ridge-like portion in the pectoral girdle. It is called a spine. Now spine, it projects as a flat expanded process जिसको बोलते हैं acromion. So there is an elevation in the scapula called as spine, and ये spine के पास एक expanded region है that is called as acromion, and ये acromion के साथ clavicle bone articulate होगा. So the clavicle bone articulates with this process. Below the acromion is a depression called as the glenoid cavity. Now acromion process के नीचे there is a cavity, there is a depression, there is a pit which is called as the glenoid cavity, and this glenoid cavity it articulates with the head of the humerus to form the shoulder joint. So upper limb का जो humerus bone है वो glenoid cavity के साथ connected होगा and by the ball and socket type of the joint called as the shoulder joint. Each clavicle is a long slender bone with 2 curvatures. So basically clavicle एक ऐसा bone है, ऐसा F shaped bone है. Here you can see it have 2 curvatures. This is one curvature and this is the another curvature. This bone is commonly called as the collarbone. It connects the axial skeleton with the appendicular skeleton. So these are the bones of the pectoral girdle and the upper limb. दिस इज़ द पेक्टोरल गर्डल, द ट्रायंगुलर शेप बोन इज स्कैप्यूला। ये स्कैप्यूला के पास एक एक्रोमियन प्रोसेस है, ये एक्रोमियन प्रोसेस के साथ क्लेविकल बोन जॉइन होता है। एंड देर इज़ अ कैविटी कॉल्ड एज द ग्लिनोइड कैविटी। ये ग्लिनोइड कैविटी में फर्स्ट बोन ऑफ द अपर आर्म दैट इज ह्यूमरस विल फिट एंड फॉर्म द शोल्डर जॉइंट। Now this is the ulna, this is the radius, these are the wrist joints, जिसमें कार्पल्स होते हैं, पाम में मेटाकार्पल्स होते हैं, एंड फिंगर्स के अंदर क्या होते हैं, phalanges होते हैं। Now the next one is the pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdle consists of two coxal bones. The coxal bones are also called as the innominate bones or the hip bone. Each coxal bone, that is innominate or hip bone, is formed by the fusion of three bones. So pectoral girdle में दो bones है, one coxal bone on right side and one coxal bone on the left side. But each coxal bone is formed by the fusion of how many bones? Three bones, ilium, ischium and pubis. But ये तीन फ्यूज होकर एक ही बोन बनाता है जिसको बोलते हैं coxal, innominate और hip bone. At the point of the fusion of the above bones is a cavity called as acetabulum to which the thigh bone articulates. ये जहाँ पे बोन्स मिलते हैं वहाँ पे एक कैविटी बनती है, ये कैविटी को बोलते हैं एसिटाबुलम कैविटी। एंड ये एसिटाबुलम कैविटी में हेड ऑफ द थाई बोन दैट इज फेमर विल आर्टिकुलेट। The two halves of the pectoral girdle meet ventrally. Now on the ventral side, the pectoral girdle, both the halves of the pectoral girdle will meet and they form the pubic symphysis. जहाँ पे दोनों pectoral girdle मिलती है, this point, it is called as pubic symphysis and it contains the fibrous type of the cartilage. So this is the pectoral girdle, this is ilium bone, pubis bone and ischium. एंड ये साथ में एक ही बोन बनाते हैं दैट इज कॉक्सल बोन। अब ये दोनों के बीच में वेंट्रली जहाँ पे मिलते हैं दैट रीजन इज कॉल्ड प्यूबिक सिम्फाइसिस। नाउ दिस इज अ कैविटी कॉल्ड एज द एसिटाबुलम। ये एसिटाबुलम कैविटी फीमेल्स में बड़ी होती है बिकॉज इट विल हेल्प ड्यूरिंग द चाइल्ड बर्थ। नाउ दिस इज द फर्स्ट बोन ऑफ द लोअर लिम्ब कॉल्ड एज द फेमर। सो फेमर विल आर्टिकुलेट विद द एसिटाबुलम कैविटी। नाउ ये नी में ट्रायंगुलर शेप बोन है दैट इज patella. Then this is tibia, fibula in the shank portion. Then these ankles will have tarsals, sole में metatarsals and toes में phalanges. So these are the bones of the pelvic girdles. Now next one is the joint. So the region where or the surface where the two bones meet, two or more bones meet, it is called as the joint. So joints are essential for all types of movements involving the bony parts of the body. जहाँ पे भी movements की ज़रूरत है and bones involved है तो वहाँ पे joints की necessity है. Locomotory movements are no exception to this. Joints are the point of contact between bones or between bones and cartilages. Force generated by muscles is used to carry out movement through joints where the joint act as the fulcrum. Basically fulcrum is the point के जहाँ पे movement possible है. So joint act as the fulcrum के जहाँ पे movement होगा. The movability at these joints vary depending on different factors. Joints have been classified into three major structural forms, namely fibrous, cartilaginous and synovial joints. So first of all, fibrous joint, ये structurally name है and functionally they are called as the immovable joints. Okay, so they are immovable fixed joints in which no movement between the bones is possible. So these are the joints which does not allow any kind of the movement. Suitors of the flat skull bones are fibrous. So skull bones कैसे है, fibrous joints होते हैं. They do not allow any kind of movement. This type of joint is shown by the flat bones of skulls which fuse end to end with the help of the dense fibrous connective tissue. ऐसे wavy structure बनेंगे suitors दो bone के बीच में and this joint is made up of the fibrous, dense fibrous connective tissue. Okay, and they form the suitors to form the cranium. Now next type of the bones are cartilaginous joints or slightly immovable joints. So slightly it is slightly movable. By mistake it is written immovable. Basically it is slightly movable joints. Okay, so they are slightly movable joints in which the joint surfaces are separated by cartilage. So joint कौन provide करता है? It is provided by the cartilage. सी फाइब्रस जॉइंट में कौन ज्वाइन करता था? डेंस फाइब्रस टिश्यूज. Whereas in the cartilaginous joints, the two bones are connected by the cartilage and only slight movement is possible. The bones involved are the joined together with the help of cartilages. The joint between the adjacent vertebra and the vertebral column is of this pattern and it permits the limited movement. The last one is the synovial joints, or also called as the freely movable joints. So they are the freely movable joints. The articulating bones are separated by the cavity which is filled by the synovial fluid. So ये क्यों freely movable है? So जो articulating surfaces है वहाँ पे cavity होती है, that is called as synovial cavity, and वो cavity के अंदर fluid होता है जो बोलते हैं synovial fluid, and due to the presence of this fluid it offers the free kind of the movement. Synovial joints are characterized by the presence of fluid-filled synovial cavity between the articulating surfaces of the two bones. Such arrangement allows considerable movement. This joint helps in locomotion and many other movements. Now there are various types of the synovial joint. One is the ball and socket joint. So name से ही मालूम करता है एक बोन का सरफेस वो बॉल की तरह होगा and एक बोन का सॉकेट होगा, and this socket will enter into the cavity of the ball. It is found between the humerus and the pectoral girdle. Hinge joint is a knee joint. So basically it allows ball and socket, it allows movement in different planes, whereas in hinge joint only one kind of movement is allowed in one plane only. So basically in the socket there will be some protuberances, and जहाँ पे वो protuberances है वो direction में movement होगा. Then pivot bone is found joint between the atlas and axis. It allows basically the rotatory movement. Then gliding joint. So basically sliding होगा. So between the carpals. Then there is a saddle joint. Saddle joint is the like ball and socket joint, but यहाँ पे ball and socket rarely developed होगा, poorly developed होगा, and socket का shape कैसा होगा? जो saddle का shape होता है वैसा. It is found in carpal and metacarpal of the thumbs. So these are some types of the synovial joint. Now last topic is the disorders of the muscular and skeletal system. So one of the disorder is myasthenia gravis. It is an autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune, auto यानी self, यानी खुद के immune cells अपनी body के normal cells को जब affect करते हैं, that disorders are called as the ऑटोइम्यून डिसऑर्डर्स. यानी क्या होती है? अपनी बॉडी की खुद की एंटीबॉडीज़ अपनी बॉडी के नॉर्मल सेल्स को डैमेज करते हैं. सो इट अफेक्ट्स द न्यूरोमस्कुलर जंक्शंस लीडिंग टू द वीकनिंग, फटीग एंड पैरालिसिस ऑफ द स्केलेटल मसल्स. न्यूरोमस्कुलर, न्यूरन और मसल्स के बीच में का जो जंक्शन है उसको बोलते हैं न्यूरोमस्कुलर जंक्शन. सो ये न्यूरोमस्कुलर जंक्शन डैमेज होता है जिसकी वजह से बॉडी में वीकनेस लगती है, फटीग लगता है एंड स्केलेटल मसल्स आर डैमेज. मस्कुलर डिस्ट्रॉफी, डिस्ट्रॉफी यानी कोई भी ऑर्गन का डिस्ट्रक्शन, इसको डिस्ट्रक्शन बोलो, डिग्रेडेशन बोलो. सो प्रोग्रेसिव डिजनरेशन ऑफ द स्केलेटल मसल्स ड्यू टू द जेनेटिक डिसऑर्डर्स. Tetany, the rapid spasms. Spasms are continuous contractions. So rapid spasms in the muscles due to the low calcium in the body fluid. Arthritis, ITIS, जब भी आता है, I told you it is inflammation, and arthrus it means joints. So inflammation of the joints is called as the arthritis. Osteoporosis, osteo bone, porosis यानी porous होना. So when the bones become porous, there are chances कि वो easily breakable है and fracture के chances ज़्यादा होते हैं. It is a age-related disorder characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chances of fractures. Decreased level of estrogen is the common cause. And gout is one kind of arthritis के जहाँ पे joints में there will be the accumulation of uric acid crystals. So inflammation of the joints due to the accumulation of the uric acid crystals is called as the gout. So basically uric acid का deposition कब होगा? जब उसका एब्सॉर्प्शन या उसका रिमूवल किडनी प्रॉपरली नहीं करता है तब. So that is regarding some of the disorders of the muscular and skeletal system. I end my chapter here. In the next video we will be studying regarding the nervous system. So thank you students.